Hi guys, Firehusky here, or Amsword, either one. Today we're going to be talking about Alaska. Most know Alaska's history is just a rock of oil that we bought from Russia for a few $1,000,000. But unsurprisingly, there is a lot more to that. Alaska was first settled during the time when there was ice bridge over the Bering Strait. Tribes such as Aleut, Yup'ik, and a few other names I'm not trying to butcher it right now, had existed in the area way before any Western civilization had contacted them. And just to clarify, when I mean Western civilization, I mean the Russians and the British. And yes, they actually do have a part in this history. Fast forward to the year 1741 when Vickis, the Danish explorer, hired by Russia, got on his boat sailed across the coast of the Aleutian Islands. His voyage ended with his death, and what we know now is the Bering Island, and the Bering Strait, and the Bering Current. Famous guy, I guess. Fast forward to the 19th century, and we have Russian fur traders and fishermen. The reason they came that was Siberia had lost an exponential amount of creatures with fur for hunting. That is a very important part. Keep in mind the hunting part. In normal terms, they had run out of foxes and wolves to harvest. There was also a rumor of gold in the hills, more inland, but no one ever found any gold. The Russians primarily stayed along the coast and towns on the Gulf of Alaska and the Bering Sea. The Russians never colonized the colony thoroughly. In 1859, the British had been expanding up north, therefore posing an immediate threat to the rival Russia. The Russian Empire did not want Alaska to fall to the British, but Russia did not want to defend it very well, as it also could not defend the sparse lands. It was also around this time that Russia first tried to sell Alaska to America. First in 1859, but America had larger problems that needed to be solved, i.e. slavery. Finally, around 2 years after the Civil War, on March 30th, 1867, Alaska was purchased by America. Granted, it took the Senate till the 9th to approve, and the President having to approve on the 28th of May, and also a long transfer delay, but arguably being a very valuable trade overall, more valuable than the Louisiana Purchase. Who needs the Midwest, being honest, bozos. Yeah, let's just forget about all the crops they have there. After the purchase, almost every Russian had moved back to Russia because living in America as a Russian is not very kind. No, America owned this big hunk of ice of trees that nobody wanted to live in, besides for some native people. And it would remain this way up until the mid-1890s, when the first gold rush struck, making the population doubled from around 32,000 to 64,000. Of course, all good things must come to an end. So the same happened to Alaska during the 1920s. Many families left with the gold rush had ended. Alaska would play a big role for the Allies during World War II, to the point where it would see a huge enough role that it saw a 22% increase from the previous 1930 census. This means that they gained a lot of people. Alaska kept growing during the 50s and 60s. On 1959, January 3rd, Alaska had become an official state. The 60s was a growth era for Alaska. However, this was all set back in 1964. An earthquake of a magnitude of 9.2 struck Anchorage and the neighboring areas. This is one of the biggest earthquakes ever to happen in the world, and it is considered the biggest earthquake documented in North America. Alaska played a huge role, same as during World War II, as the Cold War took place, as it being very close to Siberia, i.e. this communist Russia. Alaska also discovered oil in 1968. This had made people want to move there as mining became a big thing again. And ever since, Alaska has been a state that has been growing rapidly, up until 2020 when the pandemic started. We don't talk about that though. Oh, and the Russians want it back now. Christmas. I know I've been late to upload this. I promised to upload this 10 days ago, but I am lazy as hell, so yeah. Don't forget, this video also took quite a while to make, as there's a lot of frames I had to stitch together, also a lot of planning, a lot of overall complications.